everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is how to plan for a good postpartum. So I've done 5 of these already. I have 5 kids. I've had them all right here. Well, let me rephrase that. I've had them all at home, but not all here. I've had 3 in this house and then the other 2 in different houses. But I feel like with every postpartum, I gain a little bit of more knowledge and I become better and better at it. But you know, you can't have a perfect postpartum. I was planning on a very perfect postpartum this time around, and that did not go according to plan, and that is okay. But I do believe, especially as believers, we should steward our time properly, prepare our homes for this new arrival of this amazing blessing that's going to be entering our life. And to be truthful, with each addition, your whole life changes. You have to get adjusted to it, and stuff are going to shift. And it's really nice to prepare ahead of time so that you're more ready for that change. I'm very, very strict on postpartum. So I'm going to just say a couple things before I start the initial of this video. I am very strict on this. This is because with my first one, I was very not diligent of taking care of my body and not resting after birth, and therefore I later on paid for that. Okay, so I was really quick to start moving up again. I didn't allow my body to heal. So if you have had a birth, or if you are planning on having a birth, let me explain just the importance of resting after your postpartum and why I think prepping for postpartum is such a crucial thing, and it takes up most of my third trimester. So when you give birth and then your placenta comes out, you have this, your placenta is about this big, right? That is how big this wound in your belly inside you is, that literally got disconnected from your inside. And now your body needs the time to heal. And that's why I'm a huge advocate of prepping before and prior to going into labor, so that once postpartum hits, you really have no excuses, because you've set yourself up for the better and you've planned ahead, you were diligent, and now you get to enjoy your new baby, your new blessing, and you just get to rest in bed. Okay, I have my notes written down here because I didn't want to forget. But the first thing, I kind of mentioned it in my preface. It was a really long preface, but I think it's so important to plan for your postpartum, to have a good experience, because I feel like I know I'm speaking from experience, because I've had one not so great and then the rest are pretty great because I was diligent. So the first one is to plan on resting. I recommend to mamas, and I try to abide it by myself, follow the 5 by 5 by 5 rule, I believe it is. Basically, I just stay in bed for like a whole month, but I think that's like the technical term out there. So I think 5 on your bed, 5 by your bed, and 5 around your bed. So 5 days each. I would highly, highly suggest, at least for the first 2 weeks, you do not do anything like moving up and down the stairs. I do know also that is not realistic. So in the past, I have gone downstairs once in the morning and then gone upstairs once in the evening, and that was all if it wasn't within the first month of my postpartum. Otherwise, I just plan on resting. I make my expectations pretty clear to my husband and to my children. I kind of build up my children to that, and I say, hey, mama's gonna be in bed for quite a bit of time after the baby comes, and if you need anything, you are more than welcome to come and play with mama here, but mama's gonna be staying upstairs. And obviously you'll have to remind your children once the baby does come. With my husband, I just basically emphasize to him my importance on being rested, especially in the beginning, for the first month especially, and that for him not to have any expectations of me, because I also think it's important for your husband too to understand how big of a wound you're dealing with postpartum. And I think once they do understand that, they're, from my experience, they're pretty understanding of it. But I would say that plan on resting, plan on not making anything. We are back, and if you hear my children in the background, they have found me. Yeah, okay, so number 2 is plan your meals and freeze them ahead of time. I usually do this throughout multiple batch cookings, just the easiest for me. So I pick a certain type of meals that kind of in the same group of foods. So basically what I mean by that is, say I saute a bunch of ground beef and I can make like 3 meals with that and freeze it. I also am very intentional throughout my, once like the end of second trimester hits, I double most of my meals. So, and then the second part, I freeze it. That way I don't have to do a batch cooking day. I just take whatever meal we're having for that day, double it, freeze the rest. I do this with breakfast. I have usually lunches that are frozen for the kids, and snacks and dinners mostly. And I label everything. Trust me, you want to label it. In the past, I didn't, and it was difficult situation, okay? Just trust me. Number 3 is plan on having some help, okay? So first of all would be your husband. Plan on asking him for help, talking about this before you have a baby, and seeing, kind of share both of your guys' expectations for one another is crucial. I feel like in the past I haven't vocalized my, not expectations, but my needs of what I want my husband to be helping me with postpartum, and then there was like some misunderstanding basically. So I would highly suggest you asking your husband, say, hey, would you be willing to do this and this and this while I'm postpartum? Also asking close family members or friends to come over and help, especially in the first 2 weeks, especially if you have other children. It is a big transition for them, and it would be nice for someone to be there to help as well. But even if you don't have children, if you don't have any friends or family that are able to help you, postpartum doulas are a wonderful investment. If you haven't heard about them, it's basically a woman that comes to your house postpartum, helps you with laundry, cooking, holding baby while you shower, and just, it's amazing. And it encapsulates all the help you need, and you just pay her a fee, and it's perfect. So number 4 is to have everything near you and ready for postpartum. So this is the bed where I gave birth. Near me on this, well, right here on that nightstand, I had it packed with everything that I needed for postpartum. And then I had a little caddy. I'm sure you guys seen those like Target craft caddies or something. I had that in the bathroom with all my feminine products, all the postpartum stuff, the sitz bath, the cramp bark, everything was in very convenient places. So here I had all the baby's clothes, all her diapers. I had extra stuff for me, nurse pads. What else did I have? Like diaper balm. I had books that I wanted to read. I had a journal. I had snacks, and just all in these. So I empty everything out that I have prior, and I put everything that's near me. Okay, moving on to number 5, and that is to schedule everything out, or to have a schedule for your family. So let me give you an example of this. So for my family, this was my 5th child. I have 2 homeschooling children right now. So I did a detailed plan for my husband as to what needed to be done on a daily basis. I think I gave him like a bill schedule as well. And then I had a written out list of all the foods we had in the freezer and all the snacks and breakfasts, so that he had some kind of written out schedule, or I guess I shouldn't use the word schedule. some sort of information guide for my family members and my children, if your children are older, or for your family members. So a great idea would be just writing out some of your favorite meals and the recipes to it. If you don't plan on making some freezer meals, even if you do, having the recipes to your go-to meals for your husband to cook, or your mom or your mother-in-law or your sister, I think would be very convenient. So just have stuff like that, really close access. Maybe you just want to completely take that time off and not focus on any bills or anything. Maybe having that the bill like informations and schedule of when they pay, when they need to be paid, at a very accessible place. Okay, moving on to number 6 is to stock up on everything. This kind of ties back into my prepping the meals, but this I also mean stocking up on everything. So diapers, wipes for your other kids if you have children, stocking up on toiletries, make sure you don't run out when you're resting. So that's just doing a quick inventory before, and maybe going to a wholesale store or ordering it online, and make sure you have those stuff on hand. Extra food, extra snacks, extra meat. I stocked up on extra dairy so that for the first week my husband would not have to go to the store at all. What else did I stock up on? Just basically like toiletries and wipes and diapers for the other children. Yeah, so highly recommend that, because you don't want your husband leaving postpartum, especially that first week. Okay, this is a great tip. Moving on to number 7. I did not do these with the first 4 of my postpartums, and this one was the first time I did it, and I'm so grateful I did it. So I had a basket right here in front of my dresser of all postpartum clothes that would fit me postpartum. I did not even go into my closet for the first month. Everything that I put, the comfy clothes, nursing bras, nursing tops, robe, sleepwear, I put it all in a basket right in front of me. And there was no when you give birth, you have this really weird transition where your body's still pregnant, you still look pregnant, but then you still kind of sometimes want to wear something tighter because you don't like the feel of your belly. So I prepped clothes for me so that I wouldn't get stressed out looking for something postpartum. So a lot of stuff like this. This was one of the things that I wore. It's nursing friendly, but it's also loose. If I wanted to wear something tighter, I could just put some leggings on, or I can put one of those what are they called? Like postpartum belts. I like those to hold it in sometimes because it feels like everything is just gonna fall right out. But yes, planning and prepping some postpartum clothes is huge. And then that's basically it. But I want to give you guys a little bit of encouragement. The more faithful you are at stewarding this time leading up towards your postpartum, the more enjoyable of a postpartum you will have. I've noticed in the past, the more I prepare, there has never been a time where I've prepared too much. Trust me, you will thank yourself in your postpartum healing and recovering that you did all that extra work. I think that's why God has given us that nesting phase, and where we just want to clean everything and we think the baby's gonna notice the ceiling dust and whatever, but I think honestly it's a God-given gift that he has equipped us with to give us that extra push to get everything done around the house, to prep us so that we could rest for a long term after. Now I also want to say that sometimes postpartum, no matter how much we plan, doesn't go according to our ways, and that is okay. For example, this last postpartum, I planned on resting completely in bed for, the whole month. And I ended up running to appointments the first week, multiple appointments the first 2 weeks, actually. with my baby, because we needed to do some stuff that were, you know, life things that for the baby needed to do, and I couldn't put off. So it is okay if your postpartum doesn't go according to plan, but it is always a great idea to plan, so that you have a restful postpartum. And if you are watching this and you're a first-time mama, I hope and I pray that you're a blessing. If you're seeing this video, I hope that your postpartum is smooth and beautiful, and you get to rest and you get nourished, and you have a lot of good food and a lot of support from your friends and family. If not, maybe a hired doula. But anyways, everything will be good, and you will have a baby soon, and everything's just gonna, all that hard work you put in will be so worth it. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.